Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member Nelson. Really important hearing and very glad that it's happening. I think we've had a very good discussion today. And I'd like to start my questions on infrastructure, and in particular, infrastructure along the U.S.-Mexico border. I've mentioned it here before, but the Union Pacific Intermodal Facility in Santa Teresa, New Mexico, was a $400 million investment that opened in 2014. It has spurred many millions more in infrastructure investment by other companies and state and local and federal governments on both sides of the border. So the administration's trade policy on NAFTA has huge implications for infrastructure in my state. And the rest of the border region, which is home to many, many millions of people. I know Secretary Perry's very familiar with this. NAFTA needs updating to take account of current trade conditions and to strengthen environmental and labor standards, but NAFTA has been on the books for nearly a quarter of a century. So, Secretary Ross, has the administration considered in any formal or rigorous way the impacts on border economies and infrastructure if the Trump administration unilaterally withdraws from NAFTA?
We've been visited by representatives of the transportation industry, of the oil and gas industry, of just about every industry you can imagine, as well as many state and local officials. So we have been highly sensitized to the dependence that a lot of the border states have on the Mexican border and also on the Canadian border, a different group of states.
Yes.
So we are keenly aware of the potential impact.
And has the administration made public any analysis of the legal consequences of unilateral withdrawal in light of the fact that enabling legislation from Congress is on the books and cannot be repealed by the President?
Well, no decision has been made at this point to abandon NAFTA. The President has indicated that he's optimistic, and so are we, that a reasonable deal can be made on NAFTA.
So is it fair to say that unilateral withdrawal has been taken off the table?
No. The President has said repeatedly that he requires a good deal for the United States. And if there is a deal put on his desk, he will compare that with the alternatives.
Yeah, and since you're not taking it off the table now, I just want you to know, I was within the last couple of weeks down with the Border Authority group right on the border. You could look at the fence that's up there, and there is a huge amount of concern about the impact this could have on jobs, on infrastructure, and so I would just urge you, if you're going down the road, if the President's going down the road of unilateral withdrawal, I'd also urge you to talk to Secretary Perry. I hope he maybe weighs in on this. But I'm very worried about the economic consequences for the region if we unilaterally withdraw. I know you briefed me and we're trying to work on a good deal and all of that, but I think if we get to the place where there's frustration and we go down the road of unilateral withdrawal, that would be very, very unfortunate. Have you ever toured the border region in New Mexico, Texas, or Arizona?
Oh, surely. I've had businesses in those states, so I have some familiarity with it.
Okay. Well, I would encourage you in your current position to come down. I don't know if you've done that as Secretary. You've been in, I think, about a year. I think it would really open your eyes. I know that you briefed me on how you and the trade rep, Lighthizer, have been working with the Mexicans and all of that, but now in your position, I mean, people view you as a key person, so I hope you'll come down. I would clear my schedule to go down and try to do anything I can to introduce you to folks down there to show you the consequences that could happen on the border. And one of the reasons I encourage you is because border infrastructure, like ports of entry, intermodal facilities, the border roads, they see heavy federal traffic from border security, and I think we also need to take that into consideration.
Surely.
And I see I'm running out of time, so I'll probably do, Chairman Thune, I'll probably do the rest of my questions for the record, but really appreciate all of you being here. And I really believe that, you know, from the position that the Democrats have laid out in terms of an infrastructure package, the things that you all are talking about over here, there's a lot of room for common ground, and I hope we can come together on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator.